Folks, we're live.
Best night of the week.
I've got just pages of notes every episode.
Let's go.
I don't even know what to say.
Folks, it's time for the show.
Survivor's ready. Go.
Oh, people. What a night. What an episode. It is good to be back. This is the show, the Survivor Show now. I'm your host, Alex Leishow. Thanks for joining me tonight. Was that episode unbelievable or what? I mean, I don't even know where to start. It just seems like we are going to witness something special this season. It was fast-paced. It felt big. It felt big. It felt huge. It felt monumental. And we're going to get into all of it here. I'm going to give you my my pick for the season. I'm going to give you my player of the episode. We're going to talk about a lot tonight. But I want to start off broadly in general terms just to kick the season off. A nice little intro. Every once in a while in your life, you get something you don't deserve. You get the universe lines up. It sheds the chaos around you every day, and it just lines up in parallel with itself and gives you something magnificent, something you didn't even know you wanted, but that your heart has always needed unknowingly. This is going to be this season for us. Now, what do I mean when I say this? Well, there's a couple examples. For example, Sanjaya finishing top 6 in American Idol. I didn't know I wanted that, but my heart always needed it. And I didn't even know it. Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai jamming to REO Speedwagon. I didn't even know I needed that. Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith giving me a big Sith exhale. These are things that you don't deserve in your life. You do not deserve them, but you always needed them. And your soul maybe knew it, but your head didn't. This is going to be that season for us, people. It's going to be magical. It really is going to be magical. Now, I think we are right now, okay, I don't watch Marvel movies. I gave up with them after Captain America Civil War. I just don't like them. I got to tighten this down. I just don't watch them anymore. They're just too much. They're the same thing. They're CGI. It's nonstop. It's garbage. This feels very similar to Endgame to me. This whole season feels like the final Marvel movie that just came out. What do I mean by that? What I mean is Marvel for 10 years just kept coming up with bangers over and over. It started off with Iron Man. You built up the cast. You built up the crew. And, you had 10 years of lore build up, and it all culminated in one final movie, Endgame, where you had Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Panther, everyone. No, I haven't seen this movie because, again, I don't watch Marvel movies, but it just, it was the end of an era, but it was the biggest movie you've ever seen. It was bigger than life. It was the culmination of 10 years of work and creativity. That's what we have here this season, folks. This is what we're dealing with. 20 years of Survivor. 20 years of character development, of strategy, of evolution. It all culminates this year. It all comes to a head right now, and we get to witness it. Now, the other thing that Endgame did is it kind of set the stage for the next generation of Marvel movies. So you took all the old characters, all the legendary characters, the Iron Mans, the Thors, all of them. Iron Man, spoiler alert, he dies. Okay? He goes out in a blaze of glory, and in a way that closed a chapter on the first 10 years of the Marvel Universe. But it's not done yet. It's just getting started. And so what Endgame did a nice job of, what I've heard from people is, they kind of set the transition to the next era. They got to a point where Spider-Man now is going to be the new face of the universe, not Iron Man. Now you've got these new guys, Doctor Strangelove, Spider-Man. They're taking kind of the crux of the franchise and carrying it with them. They're going to bring it into the new era. Again, I think this is what we're getting this season. You have your Parvati's, your Boston Robs, your Tonys, your Sandras. You know, the biggest players we've ever seen. When you think about Survivor, this is what you're thinking about. You're thinking about these guys. But I think really, and we've already seen a little tonight, of this old school, new school dichotomy. This is gonna play itself out. And so you've got your Iron Mans, your Boston Robs in one category, and now you've got your Tom Holland Spider-Mans in maybe your Nicks and, you know, those that your Sarahs, the newbies, the new school. And what I think we're going to end up with after this season is a changing of the guard. We're going to get our next Patrick Mahomes of Survivor. We're going to get the new kind of heavy lifter into the new era, the transition. We're going to get that fresh face. We're going to move out from Boston Rob, Parvati, Tony, Russell Hantz, all of these guys into a new era of fresh blood. Your Spider-Mans, your Tom Hollands. So it is with this in mind that I'm going to present to you now my pick for the season. Now, the rules that me and my family play with are you have to make your pick before the first vote is made. So that first tribal council, you have to have your vote, you have to have your pick in, you have to pick your horse before the person gets eliminated. And then you're locked in. So what happened today was, and I'll tell you what's going on. Here's my thought process. The 2nd in December, we found out it was Winners at War, and we got the cast. My head, my gut, my heart, it all came together and told me, I'm picking Sarah Lucina to win this season. I don't know what it was she was calling to me. And I went into tonight thinking, she's going to be the face of Survivor for the next 10 years. She's going to be the new Boston Rob, the new Amber. She's going to be Spider-Man. And I get into the episode tonight, and the first episode is the only thing I can judge it off of. And I didn't see anything from her. And it scared me to death. So, what I had to do was, I had to make a pick. And Jeff says, it's time to vote. And my brother puts in the group message, hey, I need a pick now. So, my pick for this season is Soph. My pick for this season is Sophie. And what happened was I picked Sophie, and then my heart was screaming at me for the next 5 minutes. And I said, my brother's name is Nick. I said, Nick, I have to switch. I have to switch. He said, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. And then my mom chimed in. She goes, nope, not allowed. The votes were read. I said, okay, I'm going back to Soph. So, Sophie is the pick. I'm feeling very, very good. The more I watched of her in episode 2, the more I'm thinking, gosh, she's got that vibe. Folks, Sophie is Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. She's carrying us into the new era. She's the face of Survivor for the next 10 years. I can't wait to watch it unfold. I cannot wait to watch it unfold. Now, other people I was close on picking, I will just rattle them off just to give you kind of a space of where I was. I was liking Amber coming in. Gladly didn't take her, obviously. I was really liking Yul. Yul was the first guy I ever picked in my life. I think I was 8 years old. I picked Yul to win. He won. So I love Yul, and I was really, really feeling Yul. But the reason I went Sophie instead of Yul was the comment Soph made about the meat shield. And I was like, okay, I like that. And Yul is such a great guy. He's a little bit awkward. He's so smart. And he's just so likable. And he's very diplomatic, which I kind of forgot about. He's very diplomatic. But I think Yul and Sophie are going to be going very, very far together. That's a duo to watch out. So I liked them. I liked Sarah coming in. I also was thinking about Adam because I was thinking new school, changing of the guard type theme that I've been talking about here for the first 5 minutes. And I was thinking Adam. Of course, he made a huge mistake there, running off into the jungle. Big mistake, even though it was innocent. I think he may have survived the initial onslaught, though, of that. And he, we'll see where he goes. Adam's a good player, and he's a likable guy. So we'll see what he can do. Now, okay. We're going to this year, we're going to kind of talk through the episode as we go through our kind of segments here, just so I don't overload it in the beginning and then backload it with segments. So we're going to try and pace a little better this year. So we'll see what happens. But so my player of the day, and I'll just put it right out there. It was a little hard. It was a little hard to decide who was going to be my player of the day because it was just such a madhouse all 2 hours long. It was just, no one stood out because everyone is just so great and everyone's playing the game so hard and everyone's making moves. And it was like, okay, like I'm sitting here thinking like 10 minutes ago, like, all right, who's my player of the day? It was hard. It was hard because no one was grabbing me. So I went, and tell me if you agree or not, I went with Boston Rob. And here's why. Again, there wasn't a huge move yet. There was a lot of, paranoia and things like that, which is to be expected. But the reason I picked Boston Rob was I thought going in, he was donezo. When they lost the first immunity challenge right off the bat, I was like, man, he's got no time to build any relationships. Of course, they're going to go for him. He didn't get a vote. No one voted for him. And we now have an alliance that only the Survivor gods could dream about in Boston Rob and Parvati. I never thought it would happen. They've always been enemies. Always. And Boston Rob says, no, who cares? Like, let's do this. And so the fact that he didn't get any votes, the fact that he wasn't even in the conversation to get votes, I was just stunned. And that's why I'm giving him player of the day. Now, I will say this is a kind of weak player of the day. But again, we don't have many idols yet in there. We're still getting a lay of the land, things like that. I also, one last thing on Boston Rob that I have written down is he really, really worked Ben on the beach. And what I'll say about Ben is I think he's playing a decent strategy right now of trying to play the dumb guy. He's obviously not dumb. Okay, he's not a genius. He's no Yul, he's no Sandra, that kind of thing. But I think he's doing a decent job of playing the idiot. Because, the way he looks, he can play that off, and I think it's going to work for him. That he's a big, strong guy, normally would be a target, but I think him kind of playing that game is going to help him out. But Boston Rob did cook him on the beach. And, it's been a while since we saw Boston do this kind of stuff. But just to watch it in action again, just the way he was getting information from Ben and he just basically caved. I was like, there's a reason he's Boston Rob. So that is my player of the day. Now, I thought a couple interesting things tonight were, probably the most interesting thing tonight was the previous relationships, which I thought they did a really nice job introducing to us for those that, didn't keep up with those. But like this poker alliance, I had no idea about. And that was just fascinating to me. The Kim, Amber / Rob, they're going to get grouped together because, and Tyson playing poker a year or two ago. Like, wow. That was fascinating. And what I really liked was, everyone's just so paranoid. Everyone's so good and everyone's so scared of going home first that they were using any type of information they could to turn on people and get the group to turn on people. When Adam walked away into the woods, they initially just boom. Oh, they played poker for 3 hours a year ago. Boom. Let's get it on them and off of me. The Jeremy Natalie duo. Boom. They worked together in a previous season. Scary. I think the same thing's going to happen with Sarah and Tony potentially. So that's something that is very, very interesting. I don't think that's going to last much longer. I think that's kind of an initial thing that, just to initially get into the game, get some people out, and then, people will realize I don't think those relationships are really going to mean much going forward. They don't really seem to be meaning much already. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so this season, we're going to get into our next segment here. This season, this is the GOAT season. This is the greatest of all time. Whoever wins this, you could argue, is going to be the greatest of all time. So, last season we had a winner's bubble or a winner's circle where I would give you who I thought could potentially win and who was on the outside of the championship bubble. This season, we're going to do a little something I like to call the GOAT bubble. So I hope you really, really love that piece of cinematography there. I worked hours on that. If you didn't pick up on it, that is Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka talking about his bubbles in the chocolate factory. So just a little reference there for you older folk out in the audience. So this is what we're calling the GOAT bubble. This is the GOAT bubble. And the idea is whoever's in the GOAT bubble has a chance, in my eyes, to win the game. Everyone else, I don't think has a chance based on the information I have. First up in the GOAT bubble, Yul. Talked about him a little bit already. Yul is such a great guy. I think he's in a really good spot right now. When I look at the Red Tribe, I see Sophie, Nick, Yul, and Wendell kind of teaming up together. That's a fearless foursome right there in the middle of the tribe. The way they painted it for us was Tony, Sarah, and Sandra as like the nitty-gritty rough people. So that's 3. And then an Amber, Kim, Tyson Poker Alliance. 3-3, and then you've got this group of 4. That's the alliance I really like. Another reason I picked Sophie. That's a strong group right there, folks. That's a very strong group. Ragtag group. You wouldn't think they're going to work together, but you've got Yul, who's a genius. You've got Wendell, who's just kind of like the all-around cool, easygoing challenge guy. Then you've got Sophie and Nick, who are just kind of like, I don't even know. They're just good. So you're right. They also claim Sandra and Sarah there. So they're working that middle ground, kind of playing the whole thing. I really like that core 4. Yul's in a great spot, and he's a great guy. He's in my winner's bubble. He's got a shot. Going off of that, I just touched on it. Sophie, my winner, has a shot. Sarah has a shot. She's working with Sandra, which I kind of like. She's not scared of the queen. She shows confidence in going up to her and saying, hey, I'm willing to work with you. Other people might not be able to. Sarah's also a beast in challenges. In the opening ring challenge, she was just pulling everyone to that pole right when they were about to touch the other one. Sarah's good, and again, going into the season, she just was screaming to me she could win this thing. Sarah, I don't know what it is about her. She's just, even on her season a couple years ago, she's just a wholesome person, but she's not afraid to put in the work. She's super likable. She's also very flexible. And people don't give her enough credit for how smart she is. So I think Sarah really, really could go far here. And then last, rolling out my winner's bubble right now is Nick. Kind of feeding into the theme I was talking about earlier with the kind of youthful transition to a new era. Nick, so far right now, has been laying low. He's a lawyer, which means he's very logical. He's smart. He's manipulative. And again, all these people right here are in that alliance I just talked about. Sarah kind of on the outside with Sandra. When I look at the other side, I still like Adam, even though it was a rough night. Michelle could go far just because she is so inconspicuous. She shouldn't have won her season with Bracco. She, in my eyes, she's the weakest winner other than Chris ever. She's the weakest winner other than Chris ever, in my opinion, of the people I can remember. But she could go far because she has no target on her back. I do like Wendell. I think Tony is going to be in trouble. I think Tyson is. I'm leaning towards being no. I'm leaning towards being out on Tyson, even though I love Tyson. He's one of my favorite players. That's my brother's pick. My brother loves Tyson more than anything. I almost got him a Tyson bobblehead for Christmas, but it was just too expensive, so I didn't buy it. Ethan, I don't think has a shot. Ben, I'm going to put him in the middle. And then Parvati and, the rest of them, I haven't seen enough from yet, but I don't think Parvati has a shot either. So that right now is my GOAT bubble. And so let me know what you think. Let me know if I should have someone else in there, if I should take someone out. Let me know your thoughts. Going in, I will say on the outside of the bubble, kind of right on the edge, I had Amber and Natalie. And, that just shows my skill in picking anyone. Because, Natalie, they're both gone 1 and 2. So I still like Natalie, though. Natalie's one of my favorite players, and she's just a great girl. All right, what are we doing next? All right, we're going to do a little Wall Street here, and then we're going to take your questions, and then we'll see what we got. Okay, so who do we got here? We are going to buy where's my girl? We're going to buy Sarah. All right? For reasons I've already discussed, put stock in Sarah. We're going to hold Parvati. I really like what Parvati's doing right now. It seems that I would say going in, she's one of the top 3 with the biggest targets on her back with B-Rob and Sandra. That's kind of the holy trinity there. But what I like about what Parvati's doing is, A, she wasn't scared to team up with Rob. B, she's playing that mother card real nice. I think she did as good a job as she could taking the target off her back tonight. Okay? I don't think she's going to go very far. But I'm not counting her out yet. So if you have Parvati stock, hold on to it for now. Let's wait 1 more week. Let's see what she can work with B-Rob. Let's see what she can do with the rest of her squad. Because we really didn't see a lot from that side strategy-wise. It was more on the red side. We saw Rob and Parvati team up, and we saw Jeremy and Natalie, but that's been broken up. So we still got to see how that all shakes out, and Parvati could pull it off. I like that she's not as big a flirt this time because that's what people were scared of in the end. So hold on to her for now. And then finally, I want you to sell everyone in the Poker Alliance. Kim and Tyson. Now, you may ask, should I sell Boston Rob? I don't know. I don't have an answer. For that. I think there's an argument to be made for Boston Rob right now that his stock could be tonight as high as it's going to be all season. He escaped unscathed. He's got maybe a little potential of Parvati. He's got maybe a vengeance tour going on now to get Amber out, because they got Amber out. But it is Boston Rob. And, you just don't know with that bastard. You just don't know. So that's my buy, sell, hold here. What other notes do I have from the episode tonight? So we've got Sandra got an idol from Natalie. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. I don't know why Natalie picked Sandra. It just seemed like she just did that just to create chaos. And that's why I like Natalie. But, you give Sandra an idol. She doesn't get a vote. Like, no one votes for Sandra. She's just so good at, like, manipulating people and, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost intent, like, just the way she touches people, like the contact. And Van Halen always said that contact is all it takes. She's just a magician, really. And the fact that she got out with no votes and an idol is just huge. And again, she didn't make big moves tonight. It's just the little things she does that to make people feel at ease. And I forgot who it was. They come up to her when she's sitting on the shelter, and Sandra's like, "Hey, you're not getting anything from me." And she kind of plays into this villain thing a lot, it works for her. So I thought that was fascinating. The old school, new school dichotomy is going to be great. Okay, that is what we need to talk about. That is what we need to talk about. Fire tokens. This is huge. This is huge. There is an unlimited amount of ways they could take this. I really like it. I really like it so far. I could see, like, I was imagining myself on the show. And the second I hear that there's some sort of in-game currency, I'd be thinking, how do I get as many tokens as possible? So let me throw this out. How would this play out? What do you guys think about this as a strategy? If I'm on the show, I don't join an alliance. I just I just broadcast my intentions. Tribe, I am not going to join alliance. I'm going to be a mercenary this season. I'm a free vote in any way you need it to be. All you have to do to get my vote is make me the best offer of fire tokens. If someone offers me 1, I'll vote how you tell me to. If someone offers me 3, well, you just got outbid and I'm going with them. I think no one would get rid of you. Because a lot of this game, a lot of the reason people get voted out of this game is because people are scared of your unpredictability. If they don't know what you're going to do and how they can read you, they don't like that. That scares them. They want to get you home. They want people they can control, people that are rational, that act in specific ways. It's easier to play. It's easier to play chess knowing what each piece does than every turn the powers of the pieces change. So if I just sat there and said, "Hey, I am a vote to be bought every week," I'm not sure people send you home. I think at the end of the season, you're midway through the merge, maybe there's 5, 6, 7 people left. You've got 30 fire tokens. And who knows what the show is going to give you an opportunity to buy then. And then you get to jury and you say, "Hey, look, I adapted the best. I had the most bold strategy of all in the craziest season of all time. I deserve to win this." I don't know. I think it's interesting. What do you think? Now, outside of that, these fire tokens, it's going to be absolutely absurd. I could see people buying idols off of each other. It's going to just be fascinating to see what happens. You could buy votes. You could buy idols. I think you could buy your way into an alliance. I also, if I have an alliance, I think that you could start to pool together your chips. So if I have a group of 5 at the merge against, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about here, but what if there's like a bank of fire tokens for each alliance? And you can pool those together. Like, let's say you need 20 to buy an idol. A whole alliance could come together, spend those to get an idol to vote out a 5-5 split at the merge on the other tribe, or on the other alliance. It's gonna be very interesting. I think I have very, very high hopes for them. Again, if you guys watched me last season, you know I'm kind of anti these twists. Just play the pure game. But I am very excited about this. And I think in a game with the best players ever, someone's going to come up with something absolutely genius. And is it ironic that in the season of fire tokens or fire chips, we have an alliance called the Poker Alliance, or a supposed Poker Alliance? Boston Rob plays poker. He goes to casinos regularly. My friend met him at a casino a couple weeks ago. He knows a thing or two about chips. Poker chips, that is. You could also say he knows a thing or two about potato chips with that gut he's got. So, you know, it's going to be a great season, guys. All right, let's go through your comments. And let's see what you guys are saying here. Deanna going Soph. Pick Natalie to win before the episode, Michael. I would not be embarrassed. I thought she had a really good shot too. Soph might go far with the help of Yule, but he'll Yao Man her before it's too late. No. That ain't gonna happen. So excited that Sandra has an idol. I am too. I think the longer that these great players stay in the game, the better it is for us. I mean, the last thing we want is Boston Rob, Sandra, Parvati, Tony. The last thing we want is all of them to go boom, boom, boom right off the bat. I already miss Amber. I wanted to see more of Amber. I love Amber. I don't even remember watching Amber. I don't think I was too young to even remember it. So I wanted to see her in action. And it's a shame she's out. Hopefully she'll come back, but you know, Island of Extinction. That's another thing. Island of Extinction, I hated it the first time around. I hope it's not the same. When Chris came back and won, you know, with I think it was 5 people left, he comes back in the game. Andy gets an immunity idol. So he's essentially in the Final Four. It was just like, and then he wins. It was just like, what? That was one of my least favorite seasons. So I'm hoping Edge of Extinction isn't the same as it was then. But we'll see what happens. Fire tokens could help. Rob, Punk, Ben, and Danny. Yup. Ben was the information maven. He told everybody everything. Yeah, I don't know what Ben's thinking. The only thing I can think is he's trying to play dumb, which could work out in the long term, but he seemed frazzled there at first with Boston Rob. So we'll see what Ben's game is. I'm kind of, you know, I don't really know what to think of him yet. Sarah was a total beast in the challenge. She's your backup. Nick set himself up nice. We're all in alignment here, people. We are watching the same show. I like the way you guys think. You like the way I think. This is great. This is a great team we've got building here. Ethan was in a great mood at the live premiere, red carpet. Parvati seemed in high spirits. I didn't see any of this. Interesting. I didn't know they had a red carpet tonight. I'll have to go check that out. Ethan was in great mood, huh? Parvati seemed in high spirits. I wonder if that means anything. I mean, there's such good games, man. We'll never know, but it's fun to think about. I'll have to go check that out and see if I can pick up any information. Hopefully Sophie was in good mood too. By the way, this $2 million thing is absolutely insane. I mean, we've seen what $1 million can do. I mean, Tyson doesn't work. Tyson hangs out with his kids. I mean, could you think of a better job than that? You hang out with your daughters all day. You make them food. You watch movies with him. You make him laugh. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about money. I mean, what a guy. I mean, what a show. And now they're bumping it to $2 million. I mean, this show's phenomenal, people. By the way, last weekend I submitted a new audition tape. I submitted a new one. I think it's my best one in like 6 years. Let's all cross our fingers together. Let's all cross our fingers together that we get a call soon. Anyways, now that they killed Natalie, should we buy Jeremy or hold Jeremy? I would hold Jeremy right now. he got dealt a curveball with Natalie being eliminated. I would hold him for now. He's got potential. He's a nice guy. He's got a nice way about him. Hold him for now. I want to see one more week. I'll give you advice on Jeremy next week. I'll give you advice on Jeremy next week. Who's he with, by the way? See, that's the other thing. Like, Blue Tribe, I don't really know who's with who right now, other than Rob and Parvati and Adam with Denise. The rest kind of felt to me like a hodgepodge. So we'll see what happens. So hold Jeremy for now. More advice coming next week on him. Good read on the tone of the interviews. Yeah, I like that a lot, Michael. I like that a lot. Very nicely done. They wouldn't know if they won or not. They would know if they've made the final three. Yep. Parvati was smart. Parvati was so smart to play the mom card. Mom card is strong. There's no one really like moms in the world. And the second you play that card and that you gave this up to, you gave up being with your kids to come out here, I think it's harder for people to vote you off. Because they're like, well, geez, you came all the way out here. You gave all that up. Like, you get at least a little bit of sympathy there, which is great. Is it an advantage to Rob that his blood versus water has been eliminated? 100%. 100%. They even showed Natalie and Nadia, that whole thing, how Nadia got voted out immediately and Natalie went on to win the show. The second you break up a power duo, a power couple, the target is lessened on you. Rob really, really came out of this in a really good spot. Again, he's got now a vendetta. He's got even an even bigger reason to play this game hard. He didn't get any votes. He's got Parvati potentially. He really came out in a good spot. Great call. Very good call. You're so weak, you buy a piece. Okay. Rob is a turd and always gives hints and spoilers. Yeah, don't listen to him. Come over here. Bail on Rob. He's got a podcast, but we've got a show, people. We've got a show. He's a joke. Everybody, bring your friends here. The editors were shady, showing Parvati flirting with Jeremy, then a flashback of Jane's in her. Yeah. I think that was mainly just to kind of build up Parvati's past. I think they're going to do a nice job of doing nice flashbacks. It's kind of like Lost this season where, they're on an island, but we're going to get taken back to their past. And that's going to help build the story. And, Parvati, we're going to get a lot of flirty shots. We're going to get a lot of, good stuff like that. And I'm here for it. I'm a sucker for it. Again, when the show started tonight, and they're all pulling up on those boats, I couldn't help but just feel giddy. Like, I just had this feeling in my stomach, like it's like the feeling I get before I watch a Super Bowl. Like, I love Super Bowls. It just feels big. It feels like there's just a ton on the line. And I just get super invested in it. And watching these people pull up on the boats, it was just... it was surreal. It really was. We've had all-star casts before. We've had seasons that were just legendary. This feels at a different level, and I cannot wait to watch it with you guys every single week. When they're pulling up on those boats and they're doing the interviews, I'm just sitting there thinking, this is awesome. This is what everyone has always wanted, and we didn't even know it. It's gonna be a special season. All right, guys, that's it for me. That is it for me. We're about 40 minutes in here. I'll say this: it's good to be back. I hope you guys all had great Christmases, great winters. I hope your Januaries weren't freezing cold. It hasn't been horrible here. It is good to be back, you know. We had a nice little break. We went our separate ways, but it's good to be reunited with you guys. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for remembering. We're just getting started here. I made a couple updates. To the YouTube page. I got the oh my gosh, I had so much fun last weekend looking at the Jeff Probst pictures from his youth. Michael, yes, I'm live streaming after every episode this season. We did it last season. The first season was last season. Just kind of getting our feet wet. We had a really, really nice finale episode last season. Had 3,600 views. So kind of really went out with a bang there last season. But yes, we will be here this season trying to gain some more momentum, trying to get some more viewers. And, you know, it's just a fun time. Even if we don't get viewers, we've got a nice little crowd here right now. And it's just, you know, it's good to be with you guys. It's good to watch. It's good to talk to you guys after the episodes. So, yeah, but anyways, I was looking at Jeff Probst young photos over the weekend to thanks for the sub, Michael. That's the first live sub. Cheers to you, Michael. Cheers to you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I was looking at Jeff Probst's younger photos, and there's just some goofy looking things where he's got kind of like a half mullet going on, and he's walking the streets of New York in like a Hawaiian shirt buttoned down to like right above his belly button. And I was like, Jeff, you dog. It was amazing. Show, please talk about this language change. I think it is culturally interesting. No, nobody said keep the tribe song. Why not? So many layers of analysis. Okay. So, kind of spinning off of that, what I think we're going to get this season is we're not going to get this kind of social referendum we've got in the past 2 or 3 seasons. We're not going to have the creepy toucher. You know, we're not going to have the big social statement here. We're not going to have the crying. I really don't think we're going to have the crying. And I love it. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. In a season like this, we don't have time for it. We don't have time for the schmaltz. We don't. And no one here is for it. I remember Boston Rob and Sandra and their little perch last season just saying, you know, why is everyone crying? We're not getting that this year, folks, and it's going to be great. Now, the keep this tribe strong analysis, I'm not sure it matters this season. Does it really matter that you go into the merge with a majority? In this season more than others, I don't think it does. And the main reason people always say they want to keep the tribe strong early and, you know, keep the stronger people to win immunities is you want to get into the merge with an advantage. You want to get there. You don't want to get whittled away. I think this season more than any other, though, no one cares. Everyone's just, I don't think anyone can think that far ahead, honestly. They're trying to survive week in, week out. Everyone's so paranoid. I've never seen anything like it. So that is what I would say about that. But again, I think when these players get to the merge, even if they do get to the merge with a majority, I don't think anyone's going to stay loyal to that. This is a cutthroat group of players. There are no hard feelings out here. There's going to be very, very little trust this season, I believe. And so, you know, why do you really need to get to the merge with a strong tribe? If I can jump ship and go join someone I met at an after party 3 years ago, or, you know, someone's looking to make a big move and I can pull them in, you don't need to go in with a majority. This is going to be week in, week out warfare. Other seasons with new players, things like that, you normally get about 3 good episodes every season. The one right after the merge, there's probably like another one right after the merge, but it's like the turning point episodes where it's like, what is going to happen? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's huge. I played an idol turning point in the season. But then the few episodes after that is like, okay, like we know who's the majority here, and they're just going to go down the line, boom, 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 and get the other tribe out. I don't think we're getting that this season. I think even if someone gets a big majority, it's just like no one's safe any week, regardless of your lines. And I'm here for it. I love it. Hey Alexa, how are you? Hopefully no medevac. Yeah, that would not be great, because the last thing you want to see is a warrior get out. That would be like watching the Super Bowl and seeing Mahomes get carted off with an ACL or something. I mean, that would just wreck the fun. We want to see the greatest of the great go at it at their best. We don't want any injuries. We don't want anything like that. No medevacs. That would not be good. This season will help break the tired mold of girls/old out and then immunity beasts. It used to be so predictable. I agree. There's everyone's on an equal playing field. Everyone is on an equal playing field. Sure, you're still gonna have the stronger guys help you to win these early immunity challenges for your tribe. But, even if you lose an early immunity challenge and your tribe is going to tribal council, you're going to have to survive now or later, so you might as well survive now. Like it really doesn't matter. So it's great. Still scared to go to tribal, and the best way to avoid that is to win challenges. True. It is true. But you're going to have to survive every week, I believe, week in, week out, more than any other. There are no free weeks here. And that's what I think we're going to get. Guys, it has been real. Michael, thanks for the sub. Deanna, thanks for joining. Everyone else in the chat, thanks for commenting, posting, questions. Go like this video if you haven't already. Tell your friends we're having a good time here. Again, constructive criticism is accepted and invited in the comments. Bring it hard. We want to make this better week in and week out and give you guys what you want. Make it more entertaining. And just, build a nice little tribe here. Maybe that's what I should call you guys, the tribe. That makes sense. The tribe. No problem, Michael. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you next week. Guys, it has been real. I've got a little outro music this season.